Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another weekly upload. As you can see, we are not in the regular room that I film in. This is actually what used to be my vacuum room, and as you can see, we do still have a couple that are just kind of lingering. They're going to be carted out of here this next week. We do have to be out of the house by the end of the month, but trying to get out by the weekend. So I am going to be trying to crank out some videos a little sooner so that I don't take a break. But if there is a hiatus, do apologize, but I will continue soon as I have my setup back. So, and if it looks like I am tired and sweaty and a little bit beat up, it's because I am. Moving is a hassle, and I've done it once every year for the past couple of years, so you certainly get to know how to move vacuum cleaners in that amount of time. But anyways, let's get on to the video for today. So what we're going to look at today, of course, we are still in our 30s series, so what we are going to take a peek at today is my 1938 Kenmore Deluxe Automatic. Or Kenmore Deluxe, or Kenmore Automatic. Basically, these use the same words for quite a long time. Now, this model essentially is what replaced the bug eye, and if you want to see a video of one of those, just go ahead and take a look back at my previous videos. I did one of my very first on that machine, but this is the machine that would have replaced it. These were, regarded as the helmet head models after the bug eye. At least that's what I've been told. As you can see, they kind of look like a hard hat helmet or so on. Much like other vacuums of the time, they also featured this brass nameplate on the front, as well as things like adjustable height adjustment, beater bar brush roll, headlight, as well as switch in the handle. Now, of course, like I've mentioned before, 1930s, these were a lot of really new features. So this machine was a hot commodity back in the day, much like that Wards we talked about last week. Now, this particular machine, it has an interesting story with me. Now, I bought this, gosh, a couple years ago now, and I was super excited because obviously I had a bug eye and I wanted to kind of have the predecessor, or the predecessor, the one that came after it, you know. And so I found this one on OfferUp, interestingly enough, and it was, you know, it had a bag, it had a cord, it had everything I thought it needed. So I made an offer and they took it. So when it finally arrived at my house, went ahead and put it together and found out that it did come with the original bag. Now that was a huge win because these machines, when they are not original, it is really hard to make them original. Now, it did come with what seems to be a replacement cord, but did have that original bag. Now, this machine, after I got it, it kind of was a stalled project. Unfortunately, in shipping, one of the rear wheels had broken, and they're really not easy to replace. I did have something that could replace it, but you know, it was a matter of finding it and getting that done. And anyway, so my friend Jay at the time was really pushing me to get this one done. This is a really rare machine. You don't see nearly as many of these as you do the bug eye, mostly because cost-wise, these were pretty expensive back in the day. As you can see here's an ad for it actually. But anyways, back to my story. Now, Jay really wanted me to finish this machine and get it all polished up, just because they look really nice when they get polished up. And then shortly after that was when he was killed. So I just couldn't bring myself to working on this. It actually took me several months before I could even work on a vacuum cleaner, before I could do anything again, out of respect and just kind of, it didn't feel right. So for years, this sat in my vacuum room, unpolished, right next to the bug eye, you know, just like I'd planned. But I looked at it more so of, I just couldn't bring myself to doing it quite yet. Until I was getting ready for this move, interestingly enough. Now, when I was getting things ready to go with this particular machine, I unfortunately had suffered a casualty with it. There ended up being a tear in the bag that formed as I was trying to secure something in there. So I said, well, I have to fix this because I don't want to ruin the bag. So I went ahead and fixed the bag. Well, after the bag was done, I said, you know what? It's been long enough. You know, out of respect for him, let's get this thing done. So went ahead, finished it up, serviced it, polished it, got it all back up and nice looking, so I can show you people. So, well, that's what I have for this one. So let's get into the run demo. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this little expose of the 1938 Kenmore Deluxe Automatic. It is, like I've kind of mentioned already, a very special machine to me, just with what was happening surrounding my acquisition of it. It did come out phenomenally well, and I do hope to show this off like the shining diamond it is once I get my collection back and displayed, and we will catch you in the next one, where we take a look at another really rare, cool looking one from the 30s. Have a great week.